All right, y'all. We're on day 62. 62, is that right? I don't know, actually. I know I just posted a video and I called it Cut Day 61. So we better be on day 62 or else I mix my numbers up. Just like I mixed up my split, y'all. So, I don't know why I was so set on doing shoulders, but I messed up my freaking split. So, I'm doing chest again today. So if you're actually keeping up with these videos, you'd be like, man, he's hitting chest already again? Yeah, because what it's supposed to be is legs, chest, back, legs. Now I've gotten 2 days since the last chest. Chest again. Okay? So we got legs, 2-day break legs, chest, 2-day break chest. Then shoulders, then arms. And the reason why it's supposed to be that order is because I'm trying to get my bench press back up. And granted, the other day I benched 405. I watched the playback. It definitely wasn't my max. I think I could do 415. Now we have good and bad days. Like if I were to go today on chest day and try to max again, I might fail 405. It's all dependent on the day. But on that day, just recently, just a few days ago really, the 405, it moved pretty quick, you know. It wasn't explosive, but it was fast enough to where it wasn't like a grinding rep. I mean, a grinding rep is like, it might take you like 5 seconds to get the bar up. That would be an ugly rep, but it would be like your true max. It'd be like, you can't do any more than that. And I definitely had more than 405 to get to that point. Always gotta check and make sure the mic's picking up. What was I saying? But yeah, so the reason why we're doing that order is to prioritize chest, to prioritize the bench press. So if I were to do, all right, after our second leg day, I want to do chest, then shoulders, then arms. If I were to do shoulders, arms, chest, which was about to be the way I did it, I would have hit shoulders, the pushing muscles, the triceps. Then I'd hit arms, which once again annihilated the triceps, and then I'd be doing chest. Coming off of 2 days of really using my pushing muscles. So I would have a terrible chest day. So, we gotta do chest first in that string of days. Chest, shoulders, arms, to ensure the proper effectiveness. Now, another thing I decided I'm doing is I'm gonna focus all my chest stuff on pressing, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, I'll probably still do heavy dips on the tricep day. I was thinking about putting it on the chest day, but so I'm gonna do, bench press, obviously, because that's what we're trying to train. If you want to get better at something, you train that specific movement. So we're doing bench press, and when I increased my bench the most was when I was benching 3 times a week. And I went on Reddit today, I read a bunch of stuff, and almost everyone unanimously said their bench is stronger, directly correlated with volume, right? So the more volume they do, the more they're benching, the stronger their bench gets. Makes sense. Now you can overdo it, there's diminishing returns, but for the most part, the way I work out, I think it would be really hard to overdo it. So on both the chest days, we're starting with bench press. We're gonna go pretty heavy. I'm not exactly sure what the scheme is. Last time I was just kind of testing my max. Today, I might stay in the 8 rep range, and then the next chest day, I might do even heavier, like a 3 or 4 rep range. I'm not sure. There's no science behind my programming. I'm just in my head, the way I think about it is I want to be benching heavy, no more than 8 reps, because I'm trying to bench heavy. And then, why I want to do even less than 8 reps, 3 or 4 rep sets, is because I want to be used to being under an extremely heavy load. So that's just the way my mind is working it out, okay? Typically there's periodization, and for a week you're doing repetitions of 8 and then sets of 8 reps. And then for the next 2 weeks, you might do sets of 6 reps, and the next, and it's your percentage of your max. I don't know if I'm kind of rambling, but I read a lot today, and I understand, basically how it works. And I took it all in, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna make up my own thing anyway. So that's where we go with this. That's why these videos are entertainment, not education. Because I kind of just, at the end of the day, I read a lot, I figure it out, and then, or get a loose grasp on it, and then ultimately I just make it up. I just do whatever I'm feeling. So the other thing I was saying was that I want all my chest day to be focused around pressing. So I'm taking flies out of the equation. And the last time I think I did the cable flies, and it was very pressing, and I've done like the downward, pressing. That's pressing, but I definitely don't want to do any like pec deck flies. I've decided that I want my my chest day to be all pressing. So today, start with bench press. I'll probably go to the flat dumbbell press, just like I did last time, except we're not going to go as heavy. And I want to train flat because that's the orientation you're benching in, right? And then I'll probably end it with the incline machine, so I can take my stabilizer out of the equation and just do some more pressing, okay? Then, so 3 movements, all pressing, and that's gonna be the whole workout. Maybe since the workout's gonna be kind of short, I can like hop on that ab crunch machine and do abs, because I kind of abandoned my ab training, and I feel like I do need to train some abs a little bit. But that's my I want to do 3 pressing movements today, okay? And then we'll hit the shoulder day, which will be more pressing, and then we'll hit the arm day, in which we'll start with heavy dips, which will be more pressing. And then we'll have a leg day, which will give us a break. And then we'll be back into chest with more pressing. That's my mentality. Press, press, press. Because we want to get strong at the pressing. And if I have to like keep a couple reps in reserve or decrease the volume. One of the reasons we're only doing 3 movements today is because being that I'm pressing so much, I want to decrease the volume of the pressing. So I don't want to, more frequency in the days of the week, but less overall volume per day is how we're going to structure it, because you got to balance it somehow. And remember, I'm making this all up in my head. I'm using somewhat of common sense, or at least it makes sense to me. But someone that is into powerlifting might say this is the worst plan ever. It's actually supposed to be like this, but I don't care, because I'm figuring it out. And there's value to figuring stuff out, y'all. There's value to trying stuff and being like, hey, this works, this doesn't work, rather than just like listening to other people. And there's value to listening to other people too. Don't ever think you know more than like a fucking pro, There's like a world leading strength coach and you're like, no, I think I know better than you. You're kind of an arrogant douchebag. I am accepting the fact that I may be doing this entirely wrong, but I just want to try something, And that's okay. So, and there's something else I wanted to say about that. Oh, like for instance, whenever I increased my bench quite a bit, I was maxing out almost every bench session. I was benching 3 times a week, and probably 2 of those times I was attempting a max, and my bench was going up like every other time. So every other week, I guess you'd say. Not every other maxing attempt, that'd be every week. But every other week my max was going up. And I was doing it like I did it the other day. Like, 4 warm-up sets, 4 warm-up reps, 225, 1 rep of 275, 1 rep of 315, just 1 repping it. I was just 1 repping it. And the reason I did that was not from any like stroke of genius. What happened is because I was pressing so much and I was putting my body through like a tremendous amount of stress with the heavy load, I had like tendonitis in my elbows. So what I found was if I did higher rep sets, and by higher rep I just mean like anywhere above 6 reps, my elbows would be like throbbing in pain. Like I would do like 2 reps, and then like every rep, I didn't even want to fully extend my arm because my arms were just throbbing so much. So the only way I could bench 3 times a week is if I was just maxing like a 1 rep at a time, because the 1 rep wouldn't hurt me enough. The pain would build as I continued to rep. So I started doing that technique out of necessity to be able to continue to bench as frequently as I wanted, without it hurting. Oddly enough, the heavier I went, the less it hurt, because it was more the repetitious movement that caused the pain. So I didn't read that anywhere. I didn't, there was no external knowledge. I just figured out like, hey, if I only do 1 rep, it doesn't hurt. And that's why I started doing that. And it worked quite well. I went from, that's when I went from like 365 to like 405 in a relatively quick time, Not as quick as when I was on the PEDs. Then I went, because when I got on the PEDs, my bench was back down because I hadn't been benching to like 385, 395. And even my 405, like when I had done 405, it was kind of slow. And when I got on the PEDs, it just shot up like super quick. That was awesome. But, rehashing the glory days, okay? So right now, we're just trying to keep the strength and see what we do. We're making shit up. But I feel like I'm rambling. I've been really gassy all day, y'all. I've been like, I don't know, I ate a lot of vegetables and fruits yesterday. I ate like a pretty clean yesterday, and I'm like gassier than ever. I'm like ripping them, y'all. Like hot, wet, stinky ass fucking clear the room style farts. I was earlier at work during the day, I was ripping ass in my chair, okay? It was like these deep, wet farts. And I like ripped a few of them into my like cloth seat. And then I got up and I walked my dog for a little while outside, maybe like 10 minutes or so. And I came back in my office. And when I sat down on the cloth, it was like it was trapped in the cloth, and it like shot up and like hit me in the face, the smell. Like just a rancid fart smell. And I was like, it was bad, y'all. I was like, man, how are these farts just lingering here? So I don't know if it's something in the fruit or what, but I'm about to crop dust this bitch. So let's get in there and clear the room. All right, y'all, you know the drill. We did 225 for about 7 reps tonight. Then we did 275 for like 2 reps, because I'm not doing a 1 rep max. So I did a little bit more volume, And now we're on to 315. I'm probably gonna try to get like 8 reps here. But really it's as many as we can get. We're going to failure. And I might do 3 sets. I usually don't do 3 sets, but I'm considering doing like 2 at 315 and then backing off and doing a set working on my form. I'm gonna try to do like the 315 with as good as form as possible, because that's really where a lot of the strength comes in. Like a lot of my bench increase hasn't been from actual strength increase. It's just been from learning how to bench. So form is extremely important. It's like the most important part of it. And then the actual, muscle comes in secondarily, in my opinion. That's why you see like really small guys with a really huge bench. But let's get into this. King Von, Grand Theft Auto, or it's called GTA, but we know. All right. Nine and a half again. I'm glad I tried for the 10th though. All right, so the first set, 9.5 again. It's so funny, you get to a point like, maybe like 3rd or 4th rep in, I'm like, I can do 12 of these. I'm just like, I'm gonna go forever. And then Literally that 10th rep just completely stopped me in my tracks. And it might look like I give up quick, but I'm pushing as hard as I can. I'm driving through my legs. I'm squeezing my glutes together. I'm driving my back into the bench. I'm trying. I'm fighting for my life, but I just can't get it. So that's all right. That's all right. We're on a cut. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been cheating, which is probably why I have a little bit of extra strength in me. I've been eating extra, but I can't decide on this set if I want to do a little bit more controlled. Because once I felt like I could get a lot of reps, I kind of started throwing the weight. I kind of detracted, you know, took away from my form. So I might just shoot for like 6 this time and focus on the form. I almost had that one. I was like really trying to focus on keeping my joints stacked. And that lockout's always been the hardest part for me, which is crazy because my triceps are disproportionately strong. And that's supposed to be good for lockout. All right, y'all, so we did go down. It's hard for me and my ego to go down. I used to go down to like 225 and do kind of like a burnout set, but I don't want to fatigue myself that much, so I want to do heavy dumbbell pressing. So we took it down to, what is this? It's 20 less, 295. So my hopes is to get like 8 reps, being that I got almost 7 with the 315. Should be able to get 8. But I am noticing the volume is putting a little strain on my elbows, and I have a lot more pressing to do. So we'll see how we feel. We'll feel it out. We're mostly focused on form right here. If we get 6 with great form, that's fine too. Seven's not bad. Let's do some dumbbell press. All right, I just saw one of my boys from Reds, and we were talking about how awesome this gym is, except for the fucking music. Hub City elite guy, owner. I'm pretty sure I've spoken to you on the phone when I forgot to re-rack my weights, and you saw me on the camera and you called me personally. That was a bold and bomb-ass move of you. I have a lot of respect for you. So play no music. I was gonna say play good music, but just don't play any, and we'll play our own. You know, it's that easy. So I'm doing the dumbbell presses now. My elbows are feeling the bench press, and I did 295 for 7 reps. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try the 130s. I would love to try the 150s again, but the 130s, 260, you know, hopefully I can get 8 reps or so, do a couple sets of that, and then move to the incline. That's the plan. Almost got it. I'm gonna go down to the 120s and just go slow and in control. All right, y'all, so I am gonna drop to the 120s and we're gonna try to get 8 here. This is gonna be the last set, just 2 sets right here. My elbows are definitely feeling the volume. My chest feels like it could take more abuse, my shoulders, my triceps, but it's the tendons and my freaking elbows. And I have some, I bought some BPC 157 months ago, and I never even mixed it. So I don't know if it's still good. I don't know how long that stuff lasts. If anyone knows more about the peptides, let me know. But I might start trying some of that if I'm gonna be doing all this heavy lifting. And also got this really cool ice pack that this company sent me that I've yet to review. They sent it to me to review it, but I don't really want to be like promoting any products, and I wasn't feeling any pain. But I might use it as a recovery tool. So that's just what I'm thinking right now. Might mix up that BPC 157, try that out, and use that ice pack, which I think is actually a knee pack. But I'm huge, so I can use a knee pack on my elbows. All right, let's do the 120s here. I'll tell you what, unracking this weight is way easier than the 150s, obviously. All right, I didn't even count the reps that time, but I went to failure, and that was what I wanted to do. So we're gonna go to the that prime incline press, work a little bit on the aesthetic, and take the stabilizers out of the equation because my elbow stabilization is gone. All right, y'all, so I'm literally sitting here just to tell you I will not be doing this machine. I'm calling the workout right here. So 3 sets of bench press, 2 sets of flat dumbbell, and I'm done. And basically the reason for that is my elbows feel like they have been through it. And I was kind of kicking around not doing this anyway, just because I do chest twice a week. Tomorrow I'm hitting shoulders, which is another push day. The next day I'm doing arms, which is gonna be a lot of elbow work, you know, curls, the heavy dips. We're just really gonna be putting these elbows to the test. And I feel like doing this is just unnecessary. I feel like I got my kind of strength stimulus, which is really what I'm going for. Like, I'm trying to get my bench back, which I'm still benching 405. My bench isn't gone, but I'm just trying to make sure I stay strong on bench. I'm having kind of a fun time attempting to bench a lot of weight. That's like my favorite thing to do in the gym. So hypertrophy aside, you know, a good fly would be a good movement that wouldn't put a lot of tension on my elbows, but I want to focus on the pressing, so I don't want to waste volume elsewhere. So that's just kind of my mentality, but I'm not going to be doing this. We're done with the workout just like that. So pretty simple, pretty quick, and I'm satisfied with the work I did. All right, y'all, so another successful workout. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I've been working out every day. I mean, we've taken 2 days off now. This whole time. If we're on day 60, I forgot what day it is, 61, 62, whatever. We've taken 2 total days off in this time. And I've never felt any kind of like injury or sign that I should take it easy. You know what I mean? I've been hitting it every day and I've been going hard. 8 reps, you know, 8 reps per set, taking them to failure, lifting heavy. But as I increase my bench press frequency, now I'm feeling it in the old elbows. And I'm feeling like, I just really want to explain to y'all what I'm feeling. It feels like inflammation. Like it feels like, not a pump, not a pump, like painful inflammation. Like my actual joints are probably bigger than they normally are, just from being so inflamed. It's a pretty painful feeling. Now I'll wake up tomorrow and be fine. But, okay, so the reason I'm not stressing about it, because we're going to play it by ear, okay? What I want to do is try to keep my bench up, or even maybe and get stronger? Who knows, you know? It's not likely to get stronger if I stick to the cut. But right now, as I've been deviating from the plan, kind of main gaining, I could get stronger during a main gaining phase. But, you know, if my elbows are hurting this bad every time I go to do something, it's going to inhibit all my other days. And there's no way this is, what I'm feeling right now, there's no way this is good for me. So we're going to play it by ear, or play it by feel. But what I will say is, like, tomorrow I have shoulders. And you may be thinking, man, if your elbows are hurting that bad, how are you going to do shoulders? And the thing is if my elbows, if I'm sketched out about my elbows tomorrow, I'll just do shoulder stuff that doesn't really require elbows. Front raises, lateral raises, rears. I don't have to do overhead pressing. Overhead pressing is typically my, like, primary move for shoulders, but I don't have to do it. Or I could even do like an overhead press machine just to take some of the stabilization out of it. I mean, you're still hinging at the elbow. It still takes a lot of elbow work, but it's not as hard as like kicking dumbbells up, you know? But I think the bench press really didn't get my elbows too bad. Like, I was kind of feeling it, but I think the dumbbells, it just requires so much more stabilization, the unilateral aspect of it, that I think that just kind of finished me off. And I'm so glad that I didn't do incline, because sometimes in the past I've been known to push past what my body's telling me, you know? My body's like, whoa, now, slow down. And I'm like, no. But today, and also I've talked about this too before in the past, when you're working out, you release endorphins, and it kind of makes you, it's like a painkiller. So you might have this little nagging pain, and once you start working out, you can't feel it, and you push yourself too far. I'll say that this pain that I'm feeling in my elbows, it just kept building while I was working out. So the working out was not enough. Like, the endorphins from the working out was not enough to stop this discomfort. So we'll see. But yeah, tomorrow, if I'm sketched out with the elbows, I mean, I'll spam lateral raises. Do some front raises, do some rears. We'll have a great shoulder workout. No big deal. It will require no hinging at the elbow, no compression of the elbow joint. We'll sit in the sauna, increase that blood flow. We'll put the ice pack on, decrease the inflammation. So one of the reasons that I really do want to utilize that ice pack I was talking about, it's a very nice ice pack. And I'm going to use it, and I'll tell you all about it. And I'll also mention the company. I have no affiliation with them. They sent me the product for free. But I just want to let y'all know, like, I have no code. I don't stand to make any money if I like the ice pack. But I do want to just, like, use it, one, for the benefits of it, but also because they did send it for free. And the guy has messaged me like a couple times and been like, hey bro, like, when are you gonna do that review? Which is kind of funny that companies will do that. They'll just send you something, because it's like, you could give them a terrible review and they just, like, sent you a free product for you to just shit on them. But it's a really nice ice pack. I have a feeling it's gonna work just fine. But the reason I want to utilize the ice pack is because for a while I was into the cold plunge. And the cold plunge is great. It's one of the best things I've ever done. But it's not good for hypertrophy. It decreases blood flow. It decreases the inflammation associated with the workout. I don't want to get too scientific on y'all, because I don't really know. But I know that they have studies. I mean, Lane Norton, who knows what he's talking about, has covered this, that it inhibits, hypertrophy. So you do not want to be getting in the ice bath every single day if your goal is to get huge, okay? If your goal is to stimulate brown fat, boost your metabolism, just general health purposes, cold shock proteins, stuff like that, then yeah, you could ice bath every single day. Probably great for your overall health. But if your goal is to get massive, you do not want to be doing the ice bath every single day. Or even like ideally you'd want it like as far away from your workout as possible. So if you have a rest day, it would be good to do it like 24 hours from your last workout. So say you work out on Saturday at noon and Sunday's your off day, it'd be best to do it like Sunday at noon furthest away from your last workout and furthest away from your next workout. But like if you're working out every day and you're doing the ice bath every morning or every night, you're leaving gains on the table. So what I want to do is I want to utilize the cold just where I need it, you know, for the purpose of decreasing inflammation. Did this camera shift? I think it did. Ah, man, my OCD. My OCD is getting the best of me. So this is going to be kind of a long car talk because what I'm doing right now is I'm going to my shop. I'm going to work because I want to build a... we're getting that new puppy. And the like little dog pen that I have at the office, it's not sufficient. It would definitely keep in a puppy, but I have crew in there right now, and it's like it moves around. It's thin. It's short. He doesn't know he could jump over it, but he could if he wanted to. So what I'm gonna do is I looked up these ones online. They were like $400. I thought they were made of like aluminum, but I found out they were made of PVC. So I said, oh shit, I can make my own PVC kennel for the dog. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it rectangular, and it's gonna be like, the one I have now is a bunch of metal pieces, so they move. Like if crew jumps against it, it like moves all over the place. But the PVC one, I'm gonna make it like a rectangle, and PVC is obviously really rigid, so it's gonna have no give. So if he jumps against it, it's not gonna move, okay? Trust me, you'll see. If you watch the full day of eatings, that's where I'll document it. I'm obviously not gonna document it on these gym videos. All right, while we're at this red light, we're just gonna get this back to where I like it. Is that a good spot? Just a little bit, just a hair. Just a hair. Yeah, I like that spot right there. All right, now let's proceed. Yeah, so the shop is in Broussard, which isn't extremely far away, but it's a lot further than the house, okay? Did the camera instantly move? Whatever, as long as I'm in frame. And I'm gonna talk to y'all the whole way there. That's the beauty. Okay, so when I first started this video series, I would show every rep of every set. I'd show every warm-up rep, everything. And the videos were like constantly like an hour plus long. And I got, you know, some people saying, oh, the videos are too long, man, you need to cut it down to like 30 minutes. And my idea behind it was, if you want to see the whole thing, you can watch the whole thing. And if you want to fast forward, you can, but you have the option. And that's why I was including everything in the video. That was just my mentality. Like, you can skip ahead. I skip ahead on videos all the time on YouTube. Like, I mean, that's just what I do, you know? Like, especially if it's like a clickbait video where like there's one thing that they do in the video that you want to see, and you click the video and it's just like dragging out, and you're just like, where's the part where you do what I clicked, you know, click to see. So I'll like scrub through the video until I find that spot, and I'll just watch that one thing, and then I'll click out the video. So that was kind of my mentality. Like, some people like the car talk. That's their favorite part. Actually, the guy I was talking to in the gym, Jose, he's my buddy from Reds. He was saying that the car talk portion, not of my video specifically, but we were talking about Sam. He was saying that the car talk's his favorite part. He was like, I don't really care about the workout. I just like listening to him talk in the car. And so I have some people that like the car talk the best. I have some people that like the workout the best. And they'll only watch one of those two. And I have some people that watch the whole video. So, you know, you can skip along, like, you can skip to wherever you want in the video. But since then, since starting, I've actually, you know, stopped recording the warm-up sets, and I just do the top sets, and I'm doing less volume than I was doing, so it's even less like video than before. Some of my videos are 30 minutes long, some of them are 40 minutes long, but they usually, I don't think I've gone over an hour in a while. And that's the reason I did that, was more for me, because it was just less to like put together in editing, you know. It just made it that much easier on me, and I think it accomplishes the same thing, you know. It accomplishes the same thing. And while we're talking about like the video and the editing and stuff like that, so I was just talking to another guy in the gym, Jacob, and Jacob films content. He was actually like, he's the first person I talked to at Hub City because he wanted to ask me about my camera and stuff. And he films content for fun, you know. He posts on Instagram. I don't know if he does TikTok or YouTube. I don't think he does YouTube, but I know he posts on Instagram for sure because I follow him. And today I saw him and I was like, dude, you're not filming? And he was like, nah, man. He's like, I just kind of don't feel like it. He's like, you know, sometimes it's just kind of boring. And he was like, I post some stuff on Instagram and I think it's really good and it doesn't get a lot of views. And I guess it's kind of discouraging to him, you know? And that's why today I posted in my Instagram story, I said, if you're making content, make sure you're having fun with it. Because if your content starts to feel like monotonous, it starts to feel boring, and you're not getting a lot of views, you know, then you won't have the internal motivation to continue, and you won't have the external motivation. Like some people, you know, I got that way with TikTok. I started really not liking the content I was posting, but I was getting a lot of views. So I kept posting it for a while because people wanted me to post it. So I had like an external motivation that was driving me to continue. But now my motivation to post these videos is pretty much all internal. I do get a lot of support, but I get a lot of hate too. So like, if you don't have that internal, like imagine this, you start posting content. The content you're posting, it's monotonous and boring to you. Like you find your own content boring. It's not getting a lot of views. And on top of that, every now and then you get some like really malicious hate comments, you know? You're not going to keep doing it. You won't, because where is the reward? It's not rewarding to you personally. You're getting hate, you know? It's a negative feedback. And like, it's not even getting the views or anything. So it's like, there's literally no reason for you to continue posting. So like, that's kind of where my content is to some degree. Like I get a lot of support, but I get equally as much hate. I'm not getting a lot of views. I'm not making any money doing this. If I didn't really enjoy making these videos, I would have quit a long time ago. But as far as I can see right now, there's no end in sight. Like I can't foresee myself, man, this motherfucker has their brights on. Come on, bro. Come on. Fucking shining in my mirror. We're just going to turn that down. Boom. Problem solved. But anyway, yeah. As far as I can tell, I'm never going to stop making these videos. I'm really enjoying the process. I like the filming of it. I like, you know, and even like beyond, like, I don't know. I just can't express how much I enjoy making these videos. Because I mean, there's so many aspects that people could work around. Like I've said before, I don't put any of my camera settings in auto. Everything's manual because I like the process. I like finding the perfect focus. I like using the shallow depth of field. I like, you know, having the right frame rate where it's motion blur, where it's cinematic. I like all of that. I really, if I had more time, I would like to shoot in a flat profile and come back in color grade and make it look really crazy. I enjoy all of the whole aspect of filming and editing. I would love to put in sound design and do so much more with the videos. I just don't have time. Right now I'm prioritizing the daily content. But I love the filming of it. I love the framing of it. I love the editing. I love making the videos. I love working out. I love eating. I love, you know, documenting my life. So these videos will never stop. Like I would literally have to die. And let's, you know, knock on glass that we don't die. Anytime soon, at least. I know one day I will. But yeah, I would literally have to die to stop making these videos. Even if I lost everything, if I became homeless, even homeless people have iPhones. I'd be on a fucking iPhone. I'd be like, what's going on, y'all? We're in the fucking park on the, you know, jungle gym doing pull-ups. I would make it work. I'm running a red light right now. I mean, I really ran that red light. It was red for like 2 or 3 seconds before. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit more about the filming part of it. So, because people will ask me, they'll be like, man, what kind of camera you use? This looks amazing. And I always tell them it's more about the lens. It's about being able to get a really low aperture so you have the back blurry. But it is about more than that, okay? Like, so the lens is a huge deal. And you need to understand that. Because if you get a nice camera and you have a kit lens, you will not be getting what you should be getting out of that camera. Whoa, what the fuck was that? As long as it wasn't my camera, so that's fine. My secondary camera. But yeah, if you have a shitty lens, like a kit lens, cause if you buy like a you know $2,500, $3,500 camera, and you're like, oh man, I put that big investment on the camera, I don't want to spend too much on the lens. You've like ruined everything. Like you just wasted your money. A good lens, they have like a 50 1.8 that's like $200. It's pretty good. But like the lens that I have on this camera, $1,500. The lens I have on the other camera, $1,500. They're almost as much as the damn camera themselves. But it makes all the difference. It really does. Okay? But the low aperture lets a lot of light in. That's what gives you your shallow depth of field. So, if you're in a bright environment, you need a neutral density filter. So it's not as easy as just buying a nice lens, okay? You need the neutral density filter so you can actually use the shallow depth of field. And I apologize if you don't know what I'm talking about, but for those of you that do, or maybe it'll pique your curiosity and you'll learn about this and you'll, you know, step up your content. But yeah, you need that neutral density filter to be able to use your lens effectively in a bright environment, whether it be a well-lit gym or you're filming in the daytime. Is like the two, you know, scenarios I can think of the most. Now, where the actual camera comes in, because I usually downplay the importance of the camera, like this camera in particular. This camera has a really low megapixel count, which means it's not a great photography camera. There's not a lot of detail in the photos that it takes, but it does really well in low light. So when I film these car talks, I have the ISO on 2500. Now, a lot of cameras, if the ISO is that high, ISO is artificial brightening, the image will become shit. It'll get really grainy. But this camera can operate at a really high ISO. We can use a lot of artificial brightening and the image is still crispy and clear, which is why these car scenes look so good at night. I don't need the neutral density filter to get the shallow depth of field because I don't have you know, a lot of natural light coming in. And I'm able to artificially boost the light in the camera without degrading the image. So I just want to make that clear. There's more to it than just the lens. There's a lot of different, it's really exciting, y'all. Cameras are really exciting. Making content's really cool. The fact that we can, as consumers, buy these cameras and make fucking 4K professional looking shit just from the comfort of our own home, that's incredible. You know what I mean? Like, filmmaking is easier than it's ever been. And you apply some of that to fitness content and boom, you have like some crazy content that stands out from everybody else, you know? And I see other people doing high quality content, but some people that comment on my videos, it's like they've never seen that before. So it is impressive. It's a piece of the puzzle. Now, if you're magnetic enough, you can, you know, shoot on a freaking Samsung Galaxy and people will still like you. But the quality does draw in a little bit more of an audience, okay? So we're at work. I got to unload a bunch of trash in the back of my truck, and then I got to grab all the PVC to build the kennel. I'm not going to film that for the gym video, but I am going to film all this for the full day of eating. So if you're not watching the full day of eatings and you want to see what I'm up to, go check out the full day of eatings. I post 2 videos pretty much every single day, okay? So there's my whole rest of my day is also being posted every day. This is just the gym segment. So, I mean, in the car talk here, even though I'm driving back home, we could potentially have another car talk. I've been talking for forever. So I'm a peace out right here, and I'll see y'all in the next video.